Yeah, I become deaf to swerve worlds. Yeah.
Yeah, that is such a that guy thing to say.
Yeah, I have become deaf.
I
Destroyer
am
of
deaf.
I have
worlds.
become deaf.
I have become death, destroyer of worlds. It's actually pretty sweet.
If you could make a like a fake news article via, like, basically if you could make, if we spent time and money, right, which not saying that we will do this, I'm just saying if you had unlimited resources, what would be a fake headline that you would record that would look like a real news clip that you could put out into the ether to look real?
About Anna Gunn?
I think it could be by Anna Gunn. I mean, if you want laughs, it'll be Anna Gunn, but it could be anything.
So what, to understand the question, what is the most potent misinformation?
I don't think that's the question. I think the question is just, what would you want to do? Is that what you'd want to do, the most potent misinformation?
Yeah, it isn't like, which I guess part of it would be having it go as viral as possible, but more so just what's the funniest thing that you could probably trick a large amount of people with? It doesn't need to go viral, but people are like, oh my God, have you seen this? And it looks real.
Yeah, I would say Norway. Norway has blown up the rock in Mecca.
But that's so European that I have no idea what that's referring to.
You know, Muslims have they go to Mecca and they kind of do that parade around the sacred black stone thing. You know what I'm talking about?
But it's just like a religious thing, is what you're saying.
I mean, it's like the religious thing for the whole of Islam.
Oh, okay.
So if Norway blew that up,
once if you're Muslim, once in your life, it's called the Hajj or whatever. You have to travel to Mecca to see the.
Oh wow! So people will fly into the country just to see this.
Oh yeah. I mean, it is like a pilgrimage.
So is it like millions and millions of people are there looking at it?
They don't just look at it. They go around it like a swirling vortex.
Wow.
So immediately, a couple billion people are going to be very angry at Norway in particular.
A very small,
very
very
polite, a very polite, small country.
What did we do?
What did we do?
What did we do? That's kind of
didn't do that.
Immediate
if you were
holy
gonna
war.
blow up the rock in Mecca, that's kind of a hilarious false flag to fly. You know,
I'm not saying the rock actually gets blown up. But the fact that all of these giant news organizations are putting titles out about it will make enough people think that it happened that there would be an immediate holy war.
Right, so the entire thing is a false flag of a thing.
I kind of want to do something.
Happen.
Yes.
Let me know if you think this is. Let me know if you think this is believable. What if I did mine where Caitlyn Jenner takes a piss on the rock? It's very reminiscent of Ozzy taking a piss on the Alamo, except you could make it. You could do like CCTV kind of like security cam footage of like Caitlyn Jenner like standing upright, just taking a huge piss.
Oh boy.
Could you do that?
Yeah, I mean you could, but even the fact we're talking about this feels like grounds for a good beheading. So that should tell you the honestly, level of
I would like to see how long it would take to take her down.
to take Caitlyn Jenner down.
Oh my God, it would be such a battle. That's a fucking big person.
Yeah, they would be surprised and confused by her strength.
Like, what the hell? He fucking like picks him up, breaks him over his fucking knee, kind of thing. Come here, you little shit, you little hairy fuck. Grabs him and just like rips off the front of their face like a fucking gorilla, like ripping like a literally just grabbing some guy's face, like the skin of his face, and just ripping it off. Hey, you like that shit? Just cuss them all out.
There's 11 jihadis in a Toyota pickup truck with RPGs careening across careening across the desert of LA. And
as the smoke fucking clears, Caitlyn just is like standing there. She's just like, I don't give a fuck. Come and get it. I don't give a fuck. That'd be
With those
intense.
sprinters' legs, she could just fucking run and jump
Oh,
off rocks
God.
and spring like Black
Unbelievable.
Panther. Just tear them limb from limb.
They get in boats and try to fucking like, sail away. But he just fucking dives into the fucking ocean like a dolphin. Immediately gets out like he's faster than the boat himself. They're like, oh my God. Just punches the propeller blade. It like stops on his forearm. And he just starts dragging it back into the fucking bay.
Hunter, you
yeah.
keep saying he. Why are you saying he so many times?
I think the biggest problem is I literally just got done watching a documentary on Bruce Jenner. So I keep misgendering them. I'm sorry, Caitlyn. I'm sorry. It was a pretty fucking motivating documentary. Whenever I feel bad about
you
like
can be whatever you want to
be. Yes, pretty much. But I watched the Last Dance, the Michael Jordan documentary, and I watched the Bruce Jenner story thing. If you ever want to feel pumped up and just like I want to go do something, I recommend watching that.
The Bruce Jenner documentary.
Yeah, it was awesome.
What'd he do?
He was like a gold Olympic.
So
athlete.
it wasn't about the transition. It was just about the prestigious sports career.
Yeah. It was him training in the 70s and stuff, and like his victory is kind of what started like the new wave of like working out and stuff, and like kind of like the Wheaties box thing, and it was just very motivating. It was just cool. I don't know.
His
documentary.
training journey to put a car into gear fast enough to mow someone down.
Exactly. He's like, I started watching Top Gear, and I was like, I really like fast cars.
It's just something about the rev of the engine that just really gets me going.
Yeah. It just silenced out everything. It silenced down everything. I couldn't hear anything besides my thoughts that said, go. My mind kept saying, green light.
Yeah, he's been watching a lot of Squid Games also.
Tell you what, dude, he was a handsome motherfucker back in the day. Handsome.
Yeah, kind of. Why do you throw that away, Bruce?
You know what, man? Sometimes people just have... Sometimes people just don't feel like they're comfortable in their own skin, you know what I mean?
Do you know what I like the best? I like the best that Bruce transitioned to become a woman and then...
A nice Republican woman.
Yes, used that to then fucking be the biggest troll
I don't like
in
gay
all of
marriage.
it. In it, I think gays should be burned at the stake. That's just my opinion.
I just think it's
Hey, love it or
if you're
leave.
a man and a man. The marriage is the bond between a man and a woman, and it's like this like inflatable fucking like Thanksgiving Day parade balloon just like sitting there talking to you. That's what he always reminds me of. He reminds me of like a giant inflatable cartoon character now. It's fucking crazy.
He does look like one of those people who gets like mauled by a pit bull, and then they have all those skin grafts, but most of their like gums still showing.
Yeah, like there's that one woman who had her face ripped off by a monkey on Oprah, and she had like a veil over her face, and they did the reveal, and like they have like that nice plastic sheen. And that's what
That's
Caitlyn Jenner
fucked.
kind of has.
The fact that they
It's
like
horrible.
put a veil over her to do almost like an unboxing.
Oh,
of the poor
Oprah!
woman.
The queen, the queen of daytime media. I remember seeing that, and I was like, "Oh my god!" She's like, "All right, go ahead and lift the veil up." And as she was like lifting up, Oprah was just like, "Oh, gross." Okay, yuck.
Did they?
Yuck.
They should have put one of those fucking ribbons in front of her face to cut as well.
Yeah,
you know?
cut it off.
Yeah.
She takes out a comically large size pair of scissors and cuts it off. All right, let's get that. Oh, Jesus. Okay.
Unveiling her
What?
face. Oh, yeah.
So you just wanted to stay like this, right? Okay, well, when we get back, we're going to be talking about gingerbread cookies. What's the best gingerbread cookie? You know, dude. There's some crazy Oprah episodes, dude. Oprah's
Fuck it, what a bitch.
what a king.
What a fucking
What a
bitch.
king.
No.
If Hunter, if Tugboat mauled you and ripped your face off, would you walk around with a fucked up face, or would you get like a cool mask like the Kingdom leper guy, you know?
The
Kingdom of
Leper guy.
Heaven.
Oh, in House of Dragon.
Kingdom of
whatever.
Heaven. Yeah,
No,
no,
it
the
means
Kingdom of Heaven. The cool
Oh, Kingdom of
leper
Heaven. Oh,
guy.
that one is sweet too. There's a lot of good fucked face masks out there that makes you think like, why doesn't that translate into like the medical field? I hate when people try to like, well, it's like a magnet that stays on his face, and it kind of looks like his face, but it looks like a $7 prop from Spirit Halloween. You know, like that's so obviously a prop. I would much rather have The Kingdom of Heaven mask is what I'd
You'd rather
probably do.
look like
Yeah,
the
just like a
Immortals from
sick
300.
But if I did that,
Martyr
I would have to
mask.
do something like
an immortal.
I can't
mask
just be.
would
I can't just
sick.
be like a. I can't just be like a a fat fucking retarded animator making just terrible bullshit all the time like I do now. Like I'd have to learn piano or something. That's like that would make sense if I was like if I was like a great piano player. What's that mask? He's so mysterious. It's like blah, just like something where it's like classical and just like a tragic beauty about me.
I feel like that's all you need to is just the piano part. Everything else, if
That's all you need.
You kept the flip flops, you kept the tattoos, the t-shirts with holes in them. Like,
Yeah, the gatekeeper T-shirt.
yeah, I
Yeah,
feel
yeah.
like that would add even more mystique to this strange man with the
Who is this guy?
intricately
Dude.
carved face mask.
Man, I haven't seen Kingdom of Heaven. I can't even. Was that movie any good?
No, it was not.
just remember-
It's one of those films where people are
yeah.
like, oh, well, I mean, the theatrical cut fucking sucks, but if you watch the director's cut,
The director.
it's just like
yeah, fuck off.
3 extra hours more boring, and it was already
Yeah.
bad. My problem with that film, and I hate when films do this, is like, and maybe I shouldn't, maybe it's unreasonable, I don't know, but
Yeah, what is it? Every foreign person's British.
well, what? No, I like that. The more representation for me, I'm all about. It's everyone else I hate. No,
I see.
I'm kidding. What I was going to say is, they give people of that time the morals of today,
Yeah,
and it always takes me out of it. It's like this guy is not going to be like, wow, those Muslims, they pray so peacefully. Isn't it beautiful? He's literally a crusader. Literally a crusader. And he's like, don't you think we could all just like kind of get along?
What are they doing?
Yeah, the whole movie he's gonna be like, oh
they
my
smell
god.
Yeah, they smell like corn. You smell like corn. Yelling at him from across the field. What do you mean? I don't know. It's making me sick to my fucking stomach.
God. Yeah, that would have been a way better film. Why do they have those garments on their
blades at them
heads?
and insults to how hairy they were.
Yeah. And it's just,
The,
I don't know. I just find it takes me out of it. You can't, everyone's like, wow, what a period piece. Like, but look at all
It makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense that they do it because they're just trying to make the most money. You know what I mean? Because normal fucking idiots that go into the movie, they're like, I don't know why it was so, why were they so mean? You know what I mean? It's like you have to fucking dumb it down to today's standards where people come out and they're like, that was so cool that they respected their religion when they were fighting.
Yeah, wouldn't
I
it
think.
be? Go on,
I
sorry.
mean, the cool thing about the Northman was, like, the whole conceit of it was this is an antiquated, ancient story without modern politics, which was cool. But I think you're right, Hunter. Nobody fucking got the Northman. Like,
Well, yeah, no, because
I know-
it's
I
an
know
actual
so many
really
people-
sent my head for a trip? The Northman.
Well, literally,
I
like I know multiple people like their intelligence disappointed me. So like, yeah, that movie fucking sucked. That was boring.
Why were they
Why'd
barking like dogs
Hey,
and farting? Well, it's like
why'd
a
they
bad
t-
Marvel joke.
Why'd they talk like that? Why'd they talk like Shakespearean? It's gay.
It was so
Why didn't-
funny too because all the people that complained about that too, they were like, I mean, the whole movie's just boring. And then at the end of the movie, they're like, they do their last fight in a volcano. And it's like, well, which side do you want? Like, what the fucking, like, pick your battle. You know what I mean? And then also, it's like so weird to complain about the press of like your total climax of your movie is two naked, like Norwegian fucking gods basically battling it out in the in the base of a volcano.
Fuck, you're hyping me up.
It was fucking
I need
sick.
to watch that again. Yeah, it was. I agree with Dom, man. That's what I respect about that film the most. It's like it's not about the morals of us. It's about the morals of the time. That guy's whole moral system was get vengeance, go to Valhalla.
Yeah.
And God
It-
bless. You know.
They did do they had the little bit of love story in it, but it didn't make the guy like back down on like his primitive goal of just revenge.
He was like,
I'm
I want to impregnate wife, have children, go kill enemy,
Yeah.
die, go to Valhalla.
And she's not going to understand. She's going to be, you know, she's upset, but he's just like, you know, fuck.
But she kind of gets it too, because what an angel.
Dude, I fucking love that scene where he realizes she's pregnant and he just like barely says goodbye and swan dives off the boat and then like just the shot is so hilarious of him like frog stroking away.
Yeah, but then she uses her witch magic to fucking drive the boat to another shore so she can raise these little princeling and princessling to carry on his lineage. I mean, what a
far away as possible from his doom. Yeah, it was so awesome.
What a bless.
So awesome.
Oh God, what
Robert Eggers is probably my favorite new age director. Everything he does, I love it. I love it.
It's a shame it didn't do very well at the box office.
Oh, it flopped super hard. But to be fair, they it's the same thing. That's like one thing. Say what you will about A24, they will put money into a movie that it's like will not get a huge widespread thing. Say with like Beau is Afraid or whatever. They'll put money into shit like that they know I don't think will get them a huge return or whatever. But The Northman was pretty much exactly what I wanted out of like The Green Knight. The Green Knight visually was great, but it was like one of the worst, probably like one of the worst stories. And then like, even like they have his character arc at the end where it's like, you know, it just, nothing feels justified. Nothing feels earned. And then it's just like, did you guys see Green Knight?
No,
I'm trying to remember it. It was pretty.
The whole thing with Green Knight, well, yeah, it was a series of like little tales that, because it's based off of the English folklore or whatever. But the whole thing is it's like little vignettes that really don't add to any of his story. Like he's kind of a whole pussy in all of them, runs away, and at the end he faces death. Basically, the Green Knight who wants to take his head. And then he like basically lives his whole life as if he ran away and he was able to live his life, but it kind of sucks anyway. So he's like, okay, well, I'll just die now. But it doesn't feel like he actually learned anything. He was just kind of like, well, I mean, if I run away, it's going to suck too. So I might as well just die now or whatever. Is how it felt to me.
I think with the Green Knight, I actually liked the ending, but you're right. It didn't feel earned. It felt like it kind of came out of nowhere. I can't remember the circumstances. Like he's like a king, but he's kind of he's like he dies and his son dies or something. Like in his lived life.
Yeah, in the flash. Yeah, and like in his flash forward or whatever. If he did run away or whatever. But there's so many great visual. Like that movie is beautiful, very beautiful cinematography. Even just like the little bits of like the mythological shit, like the giants walking was really great and. You know, I thought all the set pieces were great, but it just man, so boring. Such a boring, forgettable, shitty, just movie, really. I mean, I don't know.
I think that's actually the worst thing about it, in my opinion, is all the visuals were awesome except for that fucking fox. It was like the worst CGI animal I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was pretty out there. Luckily, it wasn't in the film too long, serious. Though.
I mean, kind of like he's running alongside him, like his little Pixar sidekick, you know?
Yeah, that's true. I don't really know the actual story enough to like, you know how pivotal a character that is. But yeah,
my dad loves King Arthur stuff, and it was funny. He hated it too.
Yeah,
he hated all the gay stuff.
Well, I know they changed the ending from the original thing. I thought or whatever. I don't think that the Green Knight actually kills the guy at the end. I can't remember. I don't fucking know.
King Arthur.
Well, I don't think he did kill him. I think he just does like the. Oh, what was that, Tom? I want to riff about my dad. What was that?
King Arthur would never suck a cock. I tell you that for free. He's a good Christian.
Right. Why did the same actor play King Arthur and the gay guy? Doesn't make any sense.
There's not supposed to be cum in King Arthur stories. There's all this cum in this movie. Boy, don't go see that movie. There's cum in it.
What are we teaching the kids? Christ.
Why did his mom jerk him off? It's wrong.
I like that part, boy. Oh, I like that part a lot.
No, he didn't like that part.
No, I liked it a lot, boy.
He hated that part.
Oh, God, I love that part a lot.
I went to the cinema 4 times to rewatch that part, boy, I tell you.
I went to a noon showing, so I'd be by myself, boy. Yeah, I don't know. But the thing with the Northman is they advertised it like it was 300. All they did was show that fucking like spear throwing scene where he catches it. Remember that?
Honestly, I did.
Like
I hated that in the trailer. I was like,
yeah, and I knew I was like, it's not going to be that kind of movie. And the part where we do get some brutal attack stuff. It was fun to watch, but they didn't it wasn't schlocky. They didn't like linger on it for a long time.
That raid,
which is fun sometimes too. But
raid scene, dude, was fucking so good.
Yeah, it's sweet. Yeah, it's awesome.
Metal as fuck. I watched some BTS stuff and it took them like 34 takes, and they did it like in a row.
Fuck.
I know.
That's Skarsgård. I've been seeing the Skarsgård guys in a bunch of shit. I like them. I like all of them. I like that his dad was in it too. I like the dad Skarsgård.
Oh yeah, that's sweet. That scene where they're like, did you watch it in cinema?
Yeah.
That scene where they're all around the fire doing the little fucking wolf dance very easily could have been so cringy and corny, but it gave me a little fucking boner. Just the like.
That's just
raw, like yeah.
That's just the thing, though, man. That's like the. I think those are like the moments whenever you can like. That's like little moments like that is when you're like, oh fuck, this director is actually like doing something good. Like this guy is somebody you should watch. Like you should keep an eye out for this guy and his work and stuff, because those are the moments where it's so easy to fumble stuff. And yeah, he just fucking made it awesome.
There's some really cool stuff. Like they tried to make it quite historically accurate, obviously with all the design of everything. But the Odin, like the kind of Odin-esque character who was at the campfire, like the old man holding the two spears.
Yeah,
like,
that's the older Skarsgård, I think. That's the dad Skarsgård.
Stuff like that was they found that figure inscribed on, I think it was the Sutton Hoo collection, which was like a I think it was that Anglo-Saxon burial shit they found in the UK, but it was inscribed on like one of the I don't know, fucking pieces of metal. I just thought it was sick that they took like scenes from these genuine ancient artifacts and like place them on the cinema. It was pretty sweet.
Yeah, well, it's such a cool fucking translation of like, pretty much like the stories they used to tell and the stories we tell now. It's really just such a fun parallel to put up there.
Yeah, I do wish there was slightly less of him being like an old man slave and slightly more of him pounding what's her face into the dirt.
Nicole Kidman. That was fucking awesome.
No, not her.
His mom?
No.
Oh, Anna Taylor-Joy.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about. I wanted him to bury himself in her like King Arthur's sword, bro.
That part with when you find out that just like the mom, whatever, like
It's
basically,
a fucking bitch.
Yeah, like such a great twist, whatever. That was such a, you're like, oh fuck.
And then she's like trying to seduce him to buy time or something, whatever.
I literally thought he was gonna do like a little Oedipus Rex thing. Thought he was gonna fuck his mom right there for a second.
I was disgusted and aroused in equal measure. I was like, don't do it. Do it.
Stop it.
Don't stop.
That's your son. And he just reached as far back in your throat as you possibly can and huck the fattest loogie into your hand. This is gonna be a good showing. I love this movie.
Oh, Nicole, you still got a good few years in you yet, don't you, girl, huh?
You're a good girl.
You're
rubbing her face like a fucking horse.
Was she ever fit?
Oh, yeah. What? Nicole Kidman?
I don't know what she used to look like.
Dude, Nicole Kidman and like fucking Eyes Wide Shut. Oh my God. She's a smoke show.
Right,
even like Stepford Housewives. Fuck, dude.
Let me take a little look here.
And you see her boobies in that movie.
Oh,
that's when she was married to Tom Cruise.
Yeah, this doesn't do it for me.
No, I couldn't disagree with you more.
She somehow, despite being like young in this, she looks old.
That's what I kind of like.
Yeah, you got a little
like
mother
a
thing going on.
It's like just like a woman. You know what I mean? Doesn't look like a fucking 20 or she looks like a woman.
I want all my women to look 17.
Nice.
Dude, she's fucking paler than me. That is nuts. Look at this wraith of a woman. She looks like a vampire.
I like that, dude. my golden, my fucking, my ghostly bride.
I'm all about it.
She
dude.
levitates.
She levitates and screeches, and her hair spreads out behind her ethereally.
Exactly.
Well, you're awesome, Nicole. One day you're going to be in a really good movie called The Northman.
I loved her, and she has this great monologue in Eyes Wide Shut where basically she talks to Tom Cruise. She's like kind of drunk and high, and she's just like, yeah, I saw this boat captain, and I thought to myself, I want to fuck him so bad that I would destroy my family just to get railed by this guy. And it's like the most like gruesome, heartbreaking speech, and Tom Cruise is just like standing there listening the whole time.
Why does she want to get railed
so
by
good.
the salty sea dog so bad?
I think she just was turned on by him. She's basically just being like, there was one guy that I was gonna fucking cheat on you with, and I didn't, but I fantasize about him like every night.
Oh,
They show
so
like,
Tom Cruise is the husband.
yeah,
Savage.
yeah.
Do you know what, dude?
Yeah.
The fucking I might be misremembering, or maybe I saw a meme. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure at the end of Titanic, don't you see some footage of what's her face like talking about the whole ordeal and like Jack and all that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the old lady.
You're talking about the old lady.
Yeah, the actual lady like at the time.
Oh, I don't know if it's the actual lady. I think it's the actor who played the old woman, and she's like, it's been 67 years or whatever the fuck she says in the movie.
Oh, so it's not like the real lady.
I thought it was a real lady when I was a kid.
Yeah, I don't think.
I don't know when the Titanic happened, so I'm being ignorant.
Because I think I don't think my boy James Cameron would let some fucking old bitch who can't act get up on the screen and ruin his movie.
Well, it's not acting. She's just telling her story, right?
Yeah, but I mean, just acting to a degree.
All right, let's solve this with
Also,
a quick Google.
she's old. Remember, she's like old and she like gets out on the boat and stuff. It's like there's no way they would have the real woman do that.
Oh, okay,
yeah, no, I just
he made it up.
Yeah,
What a fucking okay. I take it all back.
yeah.
I was just gonna call
James
her a fucking.
Cameron.
Just gonna call her a fucking bitch for being obsessed with this like this guy instead of her.
Yeah, what a fucking bitch.
No, like she's got a husband and kids who've given her all this good time in her life, and she's still obsessed with the fucking dirty rapscallion on that stupid ship.
Yeah, that's true. It's like could his peasant dick really be that good? Like you fucked in a Ford Model T. Like give it a fucking break. He drew you while you were naked. Your husband's probably eating your pussy from the back where his nose like barely touches her asshole, and she's like, "Oh, but I like the other guy more." It's like fuck off.
Yeah, it's real woman energy, isn't it?
Yeah, that's some real Rose energy right there.
When you were a kid watching old Titanic, did you imagine you draw ladies and then fuck them because of how cool you could draw them when they're naked?
I
always
feel
hated
like that
drawing
sentence
girls,
is
so no, I
saying
never
more
did.
about you, Don.
No,
it's a real.
Well,
ink
actually, the
blot.
reason I'm asking, the reason this fascinates me is I don't remember having that thought or fantasy, but I don't know why.
Oh, I
So
don't know.
I'm asking fellow boys that could draw when they were kids.
When I probably saw Titanic, I probably still had the fucking like Scholastic Book Fair How to Draw Dragon Ball Z Characters book.
That's true.
I was
it
like
pre-awakening, so you just didn't care.
Yeah, I
well, I
thought
didn't give a
Titanic
fuck
was
about
fucking gay.
like tits or anything. I was just like, what a fucking stupid thing to draw.
Nah, bro, really? I gave a fuck about tits since I was like a wee lad, you know? Since I was like
I really
you
don't
suck
fucking.
it until
yeah.
you're like 7, right?
4 or
That is
5.
true.
Yeah.
I wasn't
did
breastfed,
gulp
so
out.
maybe that had something to do with
That's
it.
probably true. I probably do have some sort of weird thing from childhood.
I love boobies. I'm hungry.
I'm hungry.
I'm so hungry.
Yeah, I remember like fucking going through my friend's brother's like porn magazines when I was, God, I must have been like 8, you know?
Yeah.
There was a
I was too repressed
funny.
religiously.
Did you
Porn scared me.
did you get breastfed, Don?
I'm sure. Yeah.
Because porn scared me.
Yeah, you don't remember the first time you saw porn?
Yeah, I thought it was really funny. It was really funny mostly because my sister was there and my dad had a we came home. This is like right when my dad and my mom got divorced, so we'd have to go to my dad's some days and my mom's others. But my dad had like this like the one of those giant box TVs that had a DVD player and a VHS player in it. You know what I mean? Like built into the TV. And my sister would fanatically watch like 3 VHSs over and over and over again. And really, she was the only person that used it. So she pressed the button on the TV, whatever, to play it. And it was like this guy with like a giant cock, like fucking this lady in the steamy bathroom. And he was like coming all in her ass. And it was like so hairy and like fucking just disgusting. And my sister is like screaming and putting her ear, like her hands over her ears, and she's like, make it stop. And I'm like about to piss myself laughing. It's so funny. But then pretty much after that, I feel like because it's like you're aware of it, you start seeing more of it. Cause then like I found like my dad's Playboy stash and then like, you know, other shit. To be fair, I also didn't have internet for a long time, so I wasn't able to do like all the searches.
How did it make you feel seeing that big old dick doing that big old cum in that big old butt?
I thought it was disgusting when I first saw it.
Well, you're just laughing at your sister. Yeah. So it made it a positive experience.
Yeah. I think that because she was, if I was there, maybe I would have gotten into like some weird autistic trance and I was like, what is this?
that was the whole thing with me is I was so bought in that anything remotely like that is literally evil and soul tarnishing, you know?
Yeah.
That when I first, I think the first porn I saw was just like an air ray assault on the eyes of like, it was like redtube.com, you know?
You just like shied away, covered your eyes like fucking Dracula seeing the sun.
Dude, it's like, you ever watch F is for Family? All those, the sequences of Bill when he's like traumatized by, it's exactly like that. Like, I think it's literally, and this sounds like lame to say, but like a low grade version of
PTSD,
what it is to be traumatized. No, like I vividly remember my like skull buzzing. It's like a feeling of buzzing blood in the skin on your head, like under your hair, you know?
Yeah, like uncomfortable confusion.
You're just like actually in shock.
Yeah,
because you know it's like there's like an ad of like a chick getting like cummed on by 20 guys. Or like drinking like a Pyrex of cum, you know, and you've never seen any of this. And yeah, it's just an array of like 20 thumbnails all at once.
What is that?
Someone help that poor woman.
No.
Stop that.
No.
Get off of her.
You think it's like one of those, like, what is it? Those, what the fuck is it? Like, do you give to old people? It's like solid water, whatever, but you can choke on it. You know what I'm talking about?
No, what? Solid
it's
water?
like it's like gelatin, but it's like water, but it's like a kind of medical thing that you give to old people. Whatever. If you don't know, the joke's not going to work. But
well, that's kind of the funny thing too, is I would not have known what cum was, but on an instinctual level, I understood that like white stuff is
bad.
Of a person.
That is bad. You know? That one, I don't know what that is, but that one there was bad.
That snot looks weird. That snot looks weird.
Slime.
Why is she holding that slime? You're not supposed to put that in your mouth. That's what they say at school.
You could tell it was somehow like of man, you know, but I definitely
You're giving like real biblical grounding.
Dude, I remember
this. It was of
I
man.
remember the first time that, because I started masturbating before I could even like produce cum. I remember the first time that before I could walk.
You're just there standing there like,
this felt good. I'm like laying in my bed. I remember the first time that I actually came and like stuff came out, and I remember like looking around like a monkey in a zoo, just like, that probably isn't good. Why didn't that hurt?
I spilled my.
Why did that feel so good?
Yeah, well, I guess your only experience up till then of fluid spilling from you is only in bad situations, whether it be blood or you
like literally.
Yeah,
you sneeze and like snot comes every now and you're like, yuck! This thing just shot out of your cock, and you're like, whoa! I'm superhuman.
Dude, I remember being scared. I was afraid of what was going to happen. I had to amp myself up to it.
Me and Don go so far back. I remember having the conversation with Don about how to like masturbate.
Oh my God. You taught Don how to masturbate?
A
Is this
little
a
bit.
Cream Crew exclusive? You're going to want to grab it, not super hard, but not super loose.
No.
Tom.
I just remember saying like,
Tom talked me into trying it.
How
I
fast should
did.
I
I
go?
was the game.
Oh, you're
I
going to
was
want to
the
go
game.
real fast.
I was the dealer.
You're going to want to go really fast.
I just remember.
You guys are
Yeah,
19 years old.
I remember Don
14,
being like,
which
well,
is still
what
an
do I?
embarrassingly late age.
yeah.
But still. No, I was so repressed.
One more year and you have your driver's permit.
Not far off.
You know, 3 months ago, I just masturbated for the first time. I'd love to
Dude,
get
I
behind
was-
the wheel of this car.
I'm trying to keep this momentum going, really.
Just a sweet little Christian boy that liked to draw Guile from Street Fighter and wasn't worried about this stuff at all.
I can't believe I talked you into jacking off.
You talked me into it. You did not tell me how. You just talked me into it.
but what I did tell you, what I did tell you, I did tell you that because you were like, well, what do I do with this stuff? And I was like, just get a tissue and like hold it in preparation.
What?
Paper towel. But what if it stinks in the trash? It's okay.
Dude, it was sincerely like an evil thing that I was afraid of.
Do you have any underwear you don't like? All right, you're gonna make that your cum underwear now.
Yeah, you're gonna want to find a good hiding place for that. Once mine got cleaned, and I was so embarrassed.
I put it under my bed, but I got bed bugs, so don't do that. That's hilarious. That's such a fucking. That's truly a brotherly bond right there.
Mm-hmm.
I've done worse than that. Like, I remember me and my mates found his like mum's porn DVDs in her like sock drawer or whatever. And we're like, okay, you're going to sit there with your back to me. I'm going to sit behind you so neither of us can see each other's cocks. And then I think, if I remember right, I think we were too young to like come, but I think we definitely like tried.
This feels great.
You actually jerked off with another little boy sitting right there?
He was in front of me and his back was to me, and he couldn't see anything. I couldn't see anything, but yes, it was a shared experience.
By saying another little boy, it makes me think Tom is so much older than what he was in the story. All right, you're gonna sit right behind me, okay? Okay. All right, I've guided a lot of people through this, so I'm going to guide you through this as well.
You're next.
I'm somewhat of an expert.
I have given people quite the bit of information on this.
I'm 14, he's 8. Oh, okay, you sit in front of me.
You won't let him watch the porn, just listen to it.
Pig now.
You get to face the TV.
Yeah, not until you come. You only losers don't come, so you can't watch it. You have to hear it.
Yeah, it's all about it's my weird denial fetish. I'm like, okay, you're not allowed to come till I do.
Okay, go ahead. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, go.
All right.
Okay, quick, go. Go. Oh, Jesus, that was awesome.
Oh, you're so good at that. You sure you haven't done this before?
God, yeah, you're peeking over his shoulder.
Wow.
Look at you go.
You're bigger than I was at your age.
Why are you so big? You better go get that checked out. That's bigger than mine.
Yeah, I think I must have been probably about 10.
God damn. That's so bizarre.
Yeah, I think
I've heard
back on the Isles. Back in old Albion.
I mean, I've heard of people doing that
exactly.
before.
I've heard other stories too, but that's just insane to me. Like I heard,
It's
I
insane.
heard
You guys
someone
literally
was
just
being
unlocked
smeared with
that
the
memory.
rumor that
I didn't.
he like someone's younger brother was smearing them, saying, "Yeah, I walked in on him and his friends, and they were all jerking off together, but they just had like a blanket on their laps. But I saw their like hands moving up and down, and like porn on the screen. It's
I didn't even
stories
remember
like
it
that are common.
until like this fucking conversation either. I just had like a strange PTSD flashback.
I'm legitimately scared by what else is going to be unlocked in your core.
Dude, sometimes I wonder. I'm like, has something traumatic happened to me and I just don't remember it?
100%. 100%. Someone with so much hate in their heart has to have had something
Hey.
buried so far.
it's
I'm
like
full
a
of
conversation
love.
you have to have with your kids. You know, like I think about how open
Yeah,
I'll be
don't
about
masturbate with that
porn and jerking
14-year-old
off.
four-eyed kid from across the
exactly,
street.
just like okay. You're going to discover porn. You're going to jerk off. That's fine. That's not evil. Just don't do it with your friends in the same room.
That's hey. You know what? I'm still friends with that fine man to this day. It did nothing
No,
to
it was
strengthen our
a-
Tom,
bond.
how you doing? I'm holding up. I'm holding up. Okay, Tom.
Yeah,
How
why
you
don't
doing?
we talk like we used to? Just something
Yeah.
something happened where we just stopped like hanging out. and
What's
talking
wrong?
As much.
What the fuck's wrong?
Yeah. Why did you just cut me off when we were kids, man? That still hurts.
Or no, like last year when he unlocked this core memory ahead of you. And
I
you've been
feel
confused ever since.
nothing but more brotherly devotion to him now. Cum table's starting to make a lot more sense, isn't it?
In America, we're very repressed, especially you. I mean, it seems like a very Midwestern Bible Belt upbringing kind of thing. It's a very same. A lot of shame. You should feel bad for having those thoughts and feelings kind of vibe.
Yeah, but I don't blame my parents. I think that they
Yeah, only
think
one
that
of us masturbated in a room with their friend, so I feel like America's got a one up on the upbringing side of things.
Well, I don't feel like they inflicted the level of shame I had. I think that was more of a me problem than a them problem. Like just something.
Yeah,
I
you
don't
were
know,
definitely
it's just something
a
about
self-imposed
my
Jedi.
genes.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's that liking Cheetar or whatever the
from
most
Beast Wars.
Transformer.
Yeah.
Yeah, not liking the bad guys, thinking they're annoying, and just wishing they would go away. Let Optimus Prime do what he wants.
I think that I actually started giving shit more about girls at school and stuff. And then that's whenever I started noticing all the other little nuances. Because it is weird. For there's always like a little there's like a little side. There's like a moment where your brain goes, innocence to deplorable. Just absolutely deplorable.
Just a fucking dark pit in your mind.
Literally, and any and everything you can fuck, and it's just a weird, like, fucking, very barbaric, ape-like thing.
I did. This is fucked too. I remember in second grade looking up. Maybe a lot of kids did this actually. Like looking up the girls' skirts, like fucking like a goblin hiding under the table and like. Wait.
I never did that.
No? Okay, maybe that's just a me thing.
No, I what I do remember though, one time was this kid in my school. He had like a hole in his pocket, and he was like masturbating in class, and everybody was like freaking out, and he was just like, "What? But he wouldn't stop. He was just like, "What? What's wrong?" They're like freaking out. Everyone's like, "Dude, fucking stop!" And he's like, "No."
I
And they're
can't.
I can't. Yeah. It's like that part in Grandma's Boy whenever he's coming and he's like, "I can't stop.
No,
I'm
it's-
coming and it feels so good."
It's like Crank. If he stops, his heart will explode.
Yeah. I will literally die.
Yeah, at least I had the good sense to never do anything like that. It's always been private at least.
Wow.
I have.
What an exclusive for the Cream Crew podcast, though. We really opened up. We got personal.
Yeah, I'm not ashamed to share with the listeners. I think it brings us all closer, much like the shared masturbation experience that I've now unlocked.
Yeah.
Boy, I'm going to be thinking about that all day.
God, you guys just unlocked a whole, basket of
A
worms.
whole
Whatever the fuck that-
Pandora's box of happy times. Good memories.
Good memories.
I have noticed on like reality TV shows, like English ones versus American ones, like the fucking the Brits are foul compared to the Americans. And it's weird because like in America you got obviously all the crazy porn industry and stuff, but in the UK, like the reality TV shows, it's just a whole nother level of not being repressed in that way.
Yeah, it's kind of a contradiction, but there probably is a degree of shame that even shapes the shameless in America. That the
I
UK just
think so
doesn't
for
have,
sure.
'cause it took us longer to kill God over here.
Yeah, I mean we've been through some like probably a lot more shit as a nation going back 2 millennia. So maybe we're just like, hey, it's all right if you and your mate wanna toss the old salad together.
What else
Yeah,
you
just
gonna-
go fucking back to back.
Yeah.
What are you supposed to do? Go in another room? Just fucking go back to back.
Oh, we weren't,
So wait,
we
how-
weren't back to back.
So how does it actually work? So yeah, it's you and your friend, and you're back to back, and like
no,
what,
no,
you're
no,
both
no,
looking
no. You're not back
sideways
to
at the
back.
screen.
No, you're not back to back. That would have been too intimate. There's no,
That's what
there's
you
no
said.
touching.
Yeah, that's what I thought you said too. So
Yeah,
you kind
I
of
thought you said that.
You
No,
kind
that
of
would've been
feel their little
hilarious.
back muscles working, moving their arm.
Oh, that would have been grim.
You know?
Yeah, no, that's too far, even for me, even for this old salty sea dog. But
Well, that's what I thought. Yeah, that's why earlier I was laughing so hard.
oh, well, you know the chess piece, like you know how the knight moves in chess.
Yeah, like an L.
Exactly.
whatever.
So imagine I'm at the
Okay.
starting point of the L, and he's at the finishing point of the L, facing the
Oh,
same direction.
I mean,
I don't like
mean,
that. I feel like back to back is
damn,
more
you
discretion.
yeah, you
'Cause you
you
can-
still see your friend like pumping away.
Yeah, but you don't, 'cause you
can
get
like hear him.
tunnel
It's like
vision.
eh.
there was no, no, no,
and then Tom from the corner of his right eye can like see like in the fog of his eye his friend going at it, and here's a fucking other core memory you probably are gonna unlock is that your head slightly shifted to the right barely, and you're like, whoa. And you probably were watching him,
Nah, we had the good,
and that's when you finished.
we had the good graces and politeness.
You want to make pizza rolls?
We had the good grace. We had the politeness of British society to not make noise, to not make any
pizza in the evening.
fast jerking motions. You tunnel vision in. You're in your own little worlds. There's an oh, by God.
Oh, good
Gracious, how?
Oh, the sea is brutal. Oh, the waves.
We're
The
riding with the ocean,
moaning
boys.
waves.
Hold on now.
Hold fast.
We did hold
Hold
fast.
fast. I see a whale. Yeah, it's just basically it just becomes
It's
like
just Moby Dick.
bits and pieces of Moby Dick, pretty much. I, Starbuck, on the steed.
You know what, boys?
Yeah, you're just calling him Queequeg the whole time. He's like, I don't want to be Queequeg. Just hold fast, Queequeg.
It's never been harder in my life.
Yeah. Literally, there's just absolutely no bend to your cock. There's so much blood. You're actually getting lightheaded. You're like, the head of your cock is like, it's like almost like directly purple because there's just so much blood.
Yeah, pulsating.
Queequeg. Yeah, you can just feel, like you're counting your heartbeat per minute, whatever, beats per minute in your fucking hand.
Feels like the skin is gonna slough off, like in Broly in Dragon Ball Z movie.
Yeah. Kakarot! Splits open. My skin is cold.
Fucking
Translucent with somebody. Morals no. That's actually so sweet. I love whenever that plays on my stream and people are like, the Broly song. I'm like, what a dope way to introduce that to people.
I'm yeah, it's like two worlds you never would have thought the universe would be kind enough to let collide, and yet it happened.
Is that you think that's what they use in Japan?
No,
Pantera song.
no way, dude. It'd be like the Street Fighter thing where, in the Street Fighter 2 animated movie, in the American version, it's all like a cool kind of like industrial metal track when Vega and Chun-Li are fighting. But
Yeah,
in Japan, it's
yeah. I
like
like to
the
think that was in the Japanese
no, it's
one
like the
too. It's
gayest,
not?
lamest, like.
Ah, that
It's
sucks.
almost like you know when you go get a massage at like a Asian not a Master Tabori parlor, but one of the above board ones, but they play that like Buddhist kind of like bullshit tranquilizing music. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, it wasn't even like cool fast.
No,
music
it's
when they
just like
fight?
weird, like ethereal
It's
Buddhist.
kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Because that whole sequence goes with that song so perfectly. It's hard to imagine it wasn't directed to be with that track. you
That's
know?
why we have the greatest movie industry of the world, and they have silly
Mhm.
men in big dinosaur outfits.
I will say I just downloaded Bolt Gun.
Oh,
I'm very
all
excited
right.
to play
Oh.
that. I hope it's good.
Why'd you get bolt gun?
I thought it looked sweet. Like Doom, kind of like a
Yeah,
Doom kind of
okay,
thing.
fair
I
enough.
like the I think the aesthetic of it's great. Also, I think it's just kind of cool. And I figured that I could learn, maybe they'll have like something about the lore or something in it. But I mean, aesthetically, all the guns look really sweet. They're big and bulky and look kind of stupid. And I just like that kind of stuff. I like very boxy guns. I don't know if you guys feel the same.
Oh, I mean,
I
we're
like
the
100%.
premier Warhammer fans, of course.
Yeah, like those, just that kind of like big boxy feel, and the magazines are giant. Those are really fun. It kind of reminded me of that's like one reason when I was younger I really liked the Hellsing manga. If you remember that at all, they had like these obnoxiously large guns and stuff, and like the bullets were fucking huge.
Yeah. I
So
was
like that was
Hellboy's gun.
yeah,
Same thing.
Hellboy's
It's a
giant revolver
giant
kind
pistol.
of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So bolt gun looks sweet, and it's like $19 on Steam. So I think it's just gonna be a fun little indie shooter kind of thing. I just like, pray and sprays kind of stuff. I've been wanting to replay Doom Eternal again just for that reason.
It's pretty.
Just kind
It's
of turn
pretty
your brain
decent.
off and
It's pretty good. It's not as good as
The bolt gun?
Yeah, it's not as good as Warhammer fans are making out to be. But it's because Warhammer fans are so starved for like good Warhammer games.
thank God.
They're like, it's the best. It's so incredible. But it's like, it's a good 7.
But you've played it though?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Okay.
And I
that's
never
sweet.
play single player games, but when it's like again, like on the same, if it's a semi decent Warhammer game, I'll give it a chance.
Yeah, why not? And this one seems like the thing that was appealing about this to me was like, I don't really have to know anything about the game to just go in and have fun and kill things. And then like maybe as you do learn more about like, enemies or something like that, it'd give you more appreciation to maybe who you're shooting at or whatever. But I just like the idea of shooting at gross monsters and stuff. And it's just like literally, I love that vibe.
Well, if
of
you
the
ever wanted
aesthetic of
to
it and everything looks great.
learn a thing or two about Warhammer, you only had to ask.
The Duke is sitting by Woo, but we can sit. Have you played chess, the knight piece? You know how that moves?
It's kind of like that, but way more cooler
We
and
could sit-
complicated.
We could sit by Woob like that. And we could talk about it.
Hey, Don was telling me about a Warhammer porno he found the other day, so that's not too far from
Ooh,
reality.
you guys gonna dive in?
Don, you want to come over and hang out with your buddy Tom?
dang.
It was you know what? Warhammer's never been so popular because there was a Warhammer themed
I did like it.
porn on the front page of Pornhub with millions of views. And
Yeah, you're like,
I
finally.
I shed a tear.
We gotta win.
No, me.
Yeah, then Gamers Workshop or whatever copyright strikes it.
Me and Don are total gatekeepers, so Don probably saw it. Was like, that fucking bitch probably doesn't even play.
Exactly. Yeah.
Henry
I was looking
Cavill
at-
and then this bitch next.
Okay, for the listeners at home that want to find it, I didn't watch it because I'm not into gangbangs, because I'm not weird. But it was Commissar inspects her guardsman or something like that. So it's just like a chick in like a
Or
corset
something like
and
that.
a hat.
I
And
have it up.
But
right now.
Whatever it is, I don't know.
The
What
main
it
thing
was,
that deterred me from clicking it is none of the guardsmen had costumes. If they had cool
right.
guardsman flak armor, perhaps I would have.
This fucking bitch
Taking a
barely
gander.
even tried. I'm watching it right now.
Yeah.
This is like, she's wearing a little outfit, but it's in a contemporary setting and none of the guys are dressed up. You couldn't go and find like a stony ruin to do this in. You couldn't like get some PDF
Yeah,
boards and
I had to investigate too because I was like, who is this person? Is this like,
Who is
was
this
this
angel?
actually like a Nazi porno and someone rebranded it for 40K because they're a retard? Or was this like actually her thing? So I checked her out and she does, it's like a cosplay style porn channel. And the other ones are so much more committed and elaborate. So it really was like
and a fake fan.
fake fan.
Yeah, just fucking try and get in on the exposure of Warhammer, you fucking bitch.
But that's the larger point is the exposure of Warhammer. What a concept. It really is like a
And
mainstream
10-year-old
thing
dreams.
now.
Wonder if you can see
Yeah.
the reflection in my glasses of this commissar getting railed. Hey boys, it's almost like we're all watching porn together. Ain't that something?
like a night, like a chessboard.
like
In a way, this conversation is like a chessboard.
oh, she does a Samus one. Anyway, I don't need to dwell on this.
I've been looking at just things of bolt. The aesthetic of the bolt gun game is just fucking awesome. I really like it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm
It's
stoked on that.
yeah, it's all that Event Horizon stuff, like Doom stuff plus Space
Going
Marine.
through it.
Yeah.
Well, I like the idea that it's like, oh, this could have been just like a side scroller kind of game, but they're like it's the aesthetic of like a side scroller game to me is what it looks like.
right,
but
like a Metal
all
Slug kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Even just like the way like you can kind of see the trail of the bullet whenever you shoot it is fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm stoked to play it though. That's cool. Did you already beat it, Tom?
Oh god, no. I basically just play it like I play games on Fridays, and before all my friends come on, just whilst I'm waiting, I fire it up.
Yeah, I feel just a kind of like a little. Yeah, it's nice to have like just turn your brain off, and this is the perfect game for that though too. Is just literally just press your
literally
mouse
impossible for me to turn my brain off. I'm like, that's not lore accurate. I don't think so. I don't think so, mister. Actually, it's pretty lore accurate to be fair, but there have been some triggering moments.
Put on just like a fucking Children of Bodom album or something, and just like fucking play the game. Be fun.
We actually, when our buddy came to town, we actually went and played Warhammer for the first time in like 10 years.
Oh, so you guys actually played the game?
Yep. We actually played the game, and it was actually a good time. Even though
nice.
The store manager was reprehensible and tried to
hey buddy, that was a game of tennis. You were fucking, don't pretend like you weren't a part of that. Just trying to like shoo him away. You guys were both raging at each other.
I resent anybody that doesn't agree with me about Warhammer.
And also like the fact it was someone you view as like a lesser human to you. It was so funny. Me and my buddy our buddy came from Australia to hang out for a bit, and like one of the things he wanted to do, because he hasn't played Warhammer in a long time either, is go and play a little game of Warhammer. So we went there to Games Workshop and we played a little introductory game, and we haven't played it in a decade, so we have questions about the rules. We're like, we've got these two armies set up, and I'm like, oh, I need to know what X does. And I try and turn to the store manager, and I can't get a word in edgeways because Don and this fucking store manager are in a heated fucking debate that went on for so long and so voraciously that Don had to go take
adamant,
a walk
Don? I mean,
outside.
you haven't played in 10 years.
No, the thing is, I wasn't adamant about anything. I invited him to playfully complain about how shitty a company Games Workshop is.
The company he works
and he's
for.
this fucking
company
man loser.
It's
It's like, no, Games Workshop could do no wrong. What do you mean? I don't understand what you're saying by that. You mean Games Workshop is something stupid?
So it was that
He's
kind
like,
of argument.
well, that doesn't make sense.
Well, hold on,
he's
Don. Why
just
don't you break down what you were arguing
me.
about?
I said like two things. Okay, so what I'm arguing about, and the 40K fans will appreciate this. The Space Marine models, Space Marines are supposed to be like 8 to 10 feet tall, right? And the guardsmen.
Average kid who didn't masturbate until 16 years old be like,
yeah. And guardsman models are supposed to be 6 feet tall because they're normal humans.
I'm sitting in the night position masturbating.
I was gonna say, you're looking at Don being like, you're playing checkers while I'm playing chess. I could see that being upsetting though. You would think that the guy would be on your side, because usually with like diehard fans like that, the company has not been servicing the fans at all.
No,
but it's weird.
Like
it's weird.
Literally 30 years, notoriously.
Notoriously have been making the wrong decisions for like your entire life. And the guy's like, I think it's actually all pretty sweet. You're like, what the fuck? Fuck you. That'd be the same thing if like I could compare that to like Magic or whatever. Magic, they just released like this Lord of the Rings thing, and people are, anytime Magic releases anything, people are just pissed because I don't know. I think at this point people just love to hate the company. But this time they made Aragorn black, and people were like fucking livid. And then they did this thing where it's just like a weird promotional campaign thing. I don't know. But more of the story, it's like, it'd be weird if someone came across like, actually, I think Wizards of the Coast is kind of like, I like that they do nothing but like make promotional packs that are like money hungry. Like, you know, we're only doing this because we know people will get in a stupid line and buy it. We're not actually trying to like evolve the game at all.
Well,
we're just trying to
be fair, right? The backdrop is that Games Workshop actually has like a new CEO came in and like turns the company around. And they have been doing a lot.
So it has been good then.
Yes, they've done a lot of good.
It's been good.
Okay.
It's been good for a couple years.
It's a fucking fluff like law reason that Don and this manager were almost engaging in physical combat.
Okay, so let me lay the rest of the field. Space Marines are supposed to be taller than normal humans. There's models for both normal humans and Space Marines. They've always been the same height, and Space Marines have always looked goofy with giant heads. So
in the models, not in the lore.
So the actual technology for the art of the models has come so far such that they can actually start making models that are properly scaled to each other, right? But meanwhile, people have giant, 'cause it's fucking Games Workshop, $10,000 collections of these weird manlet Space Marines. So instead of having the balls to say Space Marine models are as tall as they should be now, they put out this different kinds of Space Marines that are slightly taller in the lore called Primaris Marines, when it's just blatantly a like boil the frog approach to eventually move everyone to having taller Space Marines. But you kind of like, you're appealing to the lowest common denominator who's going to get mad that they have to buy new models that are tall enough, And yeah, I was just pointing that out and inviting him to like playfully take shots at Games Workshop with me, and he like was not having it at all. But I'm not like standing there arguing with him. I think I shot back like once, but he was just browbeating me about how Games Workshop can do no wrong. And
I tried to interject like 4 times to ask about rules.
Yeah, excuse me, sir. How do I shoot?
Yeah, I was like, hey, what's my next move here? And yeah, this guy's just like, well, actually, they upscaled the Chaos Space Marines and they didn't make any new fluff for it. So
here's the other thing, Tom. He didn't say they. He said we. We upscaled. I am Games Workshop. We upscaled the models, and it was the right choice because we are great. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that was irritating the fuck out of me. He was talking about like the way they like, we messed up with the last version, so we fixed the new version.
We fumbled the ball a bit, but
it's like, what kind of decision do you think you're actually like?
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of weird when we,
what
we decided
I wouldn't
to do this,
give
but
for an employee that dedicated. That fucking bought
it's
in.
a flash kits,
What a fucking insane
I think we say that now. We say that now, but then I can see the cracks already forming. Of like, you guys have a video that pops.
Man, we just killed it.
And it's like, what the fuck did you do?
Yeah, you're right.
Exactly. And then it comes out.
It was so funny because like this guy browbeat Don so much about fucking Primaris Space Marines that I literally saw Don like exit the store and go for like take a walk, like to cool off.
I had a phone call.
Pacing around the parking lot.
My brother called me.
Oh, is that what happened?
It was a welcome escape. It was a welcome escape.
Yeah.
But it was Justin. Yeah, it was not me.
Yeah.
But you know what? I will say, when he finally turned to answer your question, I did deliberately go look at models because I just didn't want to do it anymore.
Just exhaling super loud and like looking around.
Oh, and then when we went to leave the store, his like little minion,
he had like a little gremlin.
Workshop.
Yeah,
he's that's why your customers respect you, Lucas. You're the best
because you know so much. Thanks, Greg.
You know so much about the game.
Here's the thing too, is that the store owners, this translates to Magic like card stores as well. Like any game hobby store, those fucking little gremlins that follow around and they like suck the owner's dick. The owner never likes them.
It's so good.
He hated this guy too.
The guy,
they never like those people ever, and it's weird because they're always like, yeah, thanks. He's like,
I mean, how long have you been playing this? Because you're like an encyclopedia.
You know what I mean? It's like, he's like, yeah.
I love it, dude. It's so funny. It's such a pinky in the brain
scenario.
A
little totem pole of nerds.
This guy like
have their own like pissing match.
This little like gremlin man, this like second in command, but not really, was trying to help me and my buddy with the rules or whatever because the main guy was like neglecting his job. So but then the main guy, but the main guy like turned to me. He was like, "Okay, Greg, you're being a little bit full on. I'm trying to teach this gentleman how to play." And the gremlin like immediately was like, oh, you're right, Lucas, I'm sorry, and like scuttled back to his painting table. Oh my god!
Literally an allusion to you're spurging out right now and scaring my customers.
Yeah, you hey, let the big boys talk.
I don't think that it's even the hindsight of being like you're scaring the customers. I think it's just like a weird totem pole of power of like, know your
100%,
place.
100%
I'm talking to them.
Know your place.
Well,
worm.
no, that's the irony. He's accusing him of being socially retarded, you know? And
Greg,
being
I was
just too
wondering,
full on.
do you still have Sprite available? Because I could go for a Sprite. And he's like, Bill, you know we haven't had Sprite in a long time. Stop asking.
It's so funny. It's a dynamic represented in every Warhammer store I've ever been to.
It's also like it's so funny too, like how stereotypical they are in terms of like in Utah. The last time I like really actually went and played at Magic stores is when I lived in Utah, and like always the kids that come there, they would have like flat billed snapback hats of like Rick and Morty and stuff, and they would come in carrying like 70 pounds of like equipment, tons of bags and stuff, and they like walk around like it's their room.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Did you see that they're reprinting Galgamech? Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's
like it's just like the most stereotypical person. It's autism personified. It's like the true essence of like socially awkward autistic kid. They're all the same. They're all the layout of the stores are all different, but every situation is always the same. I don't know how it's possible. All these different walks of life, and they're all the same. It's fascinating.
It's just a evolutionary adaptation that didn't, by the grace of God, didn't inhibit those people's ability to breed and make more of those people somehow.
Yeah, they're like somehow it's like the perplexing idea of like how koala bears are still around, where it's like they have no, like their fucking brain is smooth, but it's like, oh, our young eats our shit, and then we just kind of like chill out in trees and eat. And it's like, how do you survive? How out of all of history you've survived? Out of all of the world's history, you guys are still here.
It's like, I don't know. But I'm so stoked to go. I can't wait to get when you get Sprite back in, I cannot wait. I love Sprite.
I feel like I need to meet these people's parents because I wonder if there's a pattern of like upbringing, or is it just like an anomaly that happens? No, just cursed.
It's like always either they're heavily religious or it's like a military background kind of family. It's very weird. Where the dad's like, you can tell that like the parents are not heavily involved. They're like, okay, cool, yeah, sounds good, buddy.
Yeah, they don't really get it. My dad doesn't really get this kind of stuff.
We were never really allowed Sprite in the house. Yeah.
We never really actually were able to drink Sprite in the house, but sometimes when my dad grills out, he does get Sprite.
God damn.
You're right, Don.
Makes my skin crawl.
It really does, especially whenever you're stuck. It's like well, it's my dad. Like I imagine it must be like very similar to like an old Western when it's like somebody gets the drawl on you and you know you're dead. That's exactly what it's like talking to an autistic kid in like a game store. He gets the draw on you and you're like, oh fuck, you know you're trapped.
I'm trapped here
it's pretty
for
sweet.
5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah, Dragon Shield just released a new color called Emerald for the mat, for the sleeves. It's a matte, so it's not really gloss. So it's actually easier to shuffle by EDH decks.
And you're like, oh my God. Let
I'm
me
so
out
glad
of this nightmare.
None of our fans are like this. Not a single one. So
there's going to be one kid who's like,
wait, did they meet me? Did I see them in public sometime? Or
what's wrong with Sprite?
I can't wait for one person who's drinking Sprite during this. Just like, fuck.
But in a weird roundabout, weird universe, when I go into those Warhammer stores and that fucking Spurg doesn't recognize me, I'm a little bit insulted.
Me too.
I'm like, don't you know?
Yeah,
I'm
that guy
kind of
came
the face
over and
of
had a
this
full
hobby.
conversation with me and didn't know that I'm a god in this community.
Yeah, you almost want to slip in like, so have you seen any Warhammer animations lately?
Yeah.
You know?
The hobby's really thriving. There's a lot of fan-made content.
Yeah, I'm a real big fan of
YouTube?
orcs. Flash Gits in particular pique my interest.
does that ring a bell?
Yeah, literally, I'm slightly insulted. This puddle of genetics doesn't worship me.
You like look down. You just hear. You like look down. And he opens up his Sprite. Does it ring a bell?
Dude, I wish those people like recognized us, and then I can be all annoyed that they're being annoying about it, but it just didn't happen.
I wish they'd leave me alone.
Yeah,
But then
just
you get in your
like-
car and you're like,
Yeah, for real. It did happen. We did go to one Warhammer store and we were recognized once, but that guy was like
That guy was
disappointing.
nice.
Yeah,
He
he
was
was
cool.
disappointingly respectful.
Yeah, I was like,
Hello.
no, not at all.
Yeah, it was like, oh hey,
No, I
yeah.
know.
I wish he was.
I just,
Hey, how's it
I just
going?
bought a sandwich.
yeah, I'm here with my
Go
brother.
eat
He doesn't really watch your guys' stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, I want-
sweet.
I want to.
It is funny for those companies though. We were talking about it. Like, it's a real difficult situation to be. It's the reason all of those managers are the same. Because to do that job, you have to like really fucking love the game and the hobby and all of it. But you also have to be a salesman. So like the only kind of person that fits in that Venn diagram intersection is that guy. You can't actually have like a fully effective Warhammer salesman that also isn't just like that guy, you know?
Right.
So they're always going to be insufferable, and it's always going to kind of suck to go to those stores. It's just sort of too bad.
Yeah. Hobby
And
stores are
somebody
just
that-
perplexing, man.
Yeah. The
It's a
Symbiote
fucking
Magic,
labyrinth.
Wizards of the Coast, all that stuff. Yeah.
Oh, it's all the same. Doesn't matter what you're fucking into. It doesn't. I don't think it trends. Well, I guess it probably does. I was gonna say video game stuff. It just doesn't like physical board game card hobbyists are just such a different breed
It's by
of
its
creature.
by its nature, it requires a much more like sophisticated level of autism to overcome the friction of
Yeah.
entering that hobby.
Yeah.
You know,
Also, that's a weird thing too. It's the worst kind of autistic person where it's like the self-proclaimed like confident autist that is able to go out into public. Because with video game autist, it's like, oh, I'll just hide home and I just play video games because I don't like talking to people. These are the worst ones because you're walking around and they like will come up and talk to you and stuff. Or they'll do something where I fucking hate this is I'm in a store and I'll like maybe I have like a band t-shirt on. They're like,
Is that from this game?
and you're like, no, it's a band.
Oh, yeah. This actually reminds me of art from this one.
And they like go into like
it's
they
just a setup for themselves.
will initiate. Yeah, it's God. It's just the fucking worst.
Oh. Yeah, this is setting themselves up to tell us like a cool story or a joke.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's just the way it is.
And it always ends with like nothing actually being said.
That's
they're
his
like,
little, that's his
okay.
little like hook he puts out for you to nibble on.
Yeah.
know?
You know what I mean?
Just dangling the little hook.
You know what I'm talking about, Chip?
You hungry?
Talking about all this stuff has actually caused me to I'm so disgusted. My stomach is starting to boil and I feel a nice hot steamy diarrhea coming on.
You can smell that, man, like your nose memory.
Yeah,
you know?
I'm picturing him walking in with a white plastic bag that has Thai food in it from the fucking Thai place next door.
The place next door.
Yeah, fucking like cashew noodles or whatever. And he's like, it's so stinky and so spicy. And he's like, and he just has like his Yu-Gi-Oh cards that fall out of his backpack and stuff. And he just doesn't pick up anything after himself. And he drinks like 7 or 8 Sprites. And he talks about how much of a caffeine rush he has, even though Sprite has no caffeine in it. It's just the fucking worst.
I know the answer.
I've seen these people too many times in my life. It's honestly a type of creature that needs to become extinct. I think we need to evolve past this.
I'm in two minds because God, you might think like God bless those game stores because it gives these guys community and a place to feel like a social person.
It's like a halfway house.
Yeah. But it's like a conversation a few episodes ago. Like, where was this guy in 1917? You know?
He was dropping atom bombs on the nips.
Do you like spaceships?
Okay, except he.
What is that? Never mind. Nothing.
It's that. There just wasn't enough It wasn't until basically like radio came around or whatever. And, like, people were like listening to stories.
I think what
and
it
shit.
is you didn't have the ability to find enough more people like you to never have to shake that. Like, if you have to interact enough with regular people, you can never like glob onto this weird culture that lets you exist how you are, you know?
Yeah. It becomes like an echo chamber of.
And you're probably right. Like, I think a lot of those people took that kind of level of autism and just like, they're like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, but you can make a bomb or whatever. So then they're scientists.
The Chad's
I like jets. I like engines.
Okay, well, cool. They just like fucking put them in a factory and they're like, cool, make us like something that can destroy a planet.
Okay, I could try. Yeah, this is pretty sweet.
that's pretty much, I bet you that's what Einstein and all those guys sounded like.
It's pretty crazy. If we put this in a reactor, it will react in a weird way. Like, it will probably be pretty awesome.
Wouldn't it? Maybe that's just what the Oppenheimer movie is.
Mrs. Secretary Lady, could you go get us more of that bottled Sprite, please?
I'm drinking bottled Sprite.
God, nothing better than a nice bottle of Sprite.
Yeah, I've become deaf to swerve worlds. Yeah.
Yeah, that is such a that guy thing to say.
Yeah, I have become deaf.
I have become deaf. Destroyer of worlds. It's actually pretty sweet. I feel kind of bad about it, I suppose.
Hell yeah, Oppenheimer.
Although it was kind of interesting that the shadow stayed behind after those bug people wiped off the face of the earth.
Whoa, what did he just say?
No, I'm just saying that it's just kind of crazy. God, my lips are chapped. I just would absolutely kill for a Sprite right about now. I think it's me jazzed. I'm jazzed up when I drink this. This is great.
And then someone saw their power and they're like, oh my God, these guys can destroy worlds. So they're like, what if we just made funny books with magical creatures? So they're like, oh my God, they just distracted him.
Oh my God, this is pretty sweet. I mean, talk about this deal. Look at this guy shooting lightning bolts out of his hands.
And like, basically, they caged the autist from destroying the world. It's literally what happened. That's exactly, like, if you look at the time, look at when Dungeons and Dragons came out. They got us to the fucking moon and they're like, it's gone too far. It has gone officially too far. They've taken us off this planet.
Yeah, it'd be pretty sweet if we just blew up the sun.
It's like, no, I don't.
No, I hate the sun. I hate how bright it is in my eyes. I'm gonna blow it up.
What about this? This is like a big lizard that can breathe fire.
Well, that's pretty cool. What the hell is it called?
Yeah, I mean, like, they literally split an atom. So maybe these threats of blowing up the sun, you're like, well, I mean, he did split the atom.
Yeah, that can't be possible. And like, think about what they've done in the span of 15 years. Think about all that they've done.
How many more discoveries like that are there, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, I got a lot of ideas. I got a lot of ideas rolling around in my head.
Yes.
But goddamn if I'm not just absolutely thirsty.
So they just stock a room with fucking 64 bottles of Sprite. And they just put.
You'll all be pleased to know Sprite came out 7 years before the space race.
Yeah, well, they had to give a name for it. They loved the lemon soda. We need to. He's like, well, I wish they sold that at stores. So that also kept them at bay, so they didn't have to leave their town.
This lemon drink makes me kind of sprightly, if you know what I'm saying.
I feel quite sprightly, actually, is how I feel when I drink it. So I think I will continue to, and I'm going to destroy the sun. I want to put something in the air that rips off all of our skin. I'm going to put something into the air that eats away human skin. Because I hate it.
It's like, my God. You're like, what about this? This guy, he can fly around. What?
Oh, okay, like Superman. That's pretty cool. Yeah, that's pretty sweet, actually.
What about they're gnomes, but they have axes. And they live underground.
God, let's call it a dwarf? Okay.
And yeah, it's a game. You're supposed to be.
I would love to be this creature, so I will.
Then they just introduce them to like a 20-sided die, and they're like,
Oh my God. 20 sides of the unit are just 4.
it's like, no, there's like 6.
See, oh my God. This is
What will they
absolutely
think
crazy.
of next?
What will they think of next? I cannot wait to chain every living human being up to power this little microwave. I'm going to do that. I'm going to make a machine that will.
Have you heard of
work
6th
on
edition?
Basically, pretty much. I'm going to pretty much make a machine that steals the human soul. Is what I'm going to do. It is what I will do.
Yeah, no wonder
That-
they kept
it's
coming out with
unbelievable how well that
with
correlates.
updates and booster packs.
yeah, exactly. They're getting bored.
I've only done this campaign before.
All these writers are like, should we just put them in the ocean? Oh my God.
He's like, oh, a water campaign. That's kind of interesting. A giant fish creature.
So all these hobby companies have just.
Well, I've heard
there's
of
like a
high
dark.
elves, but what are wood elves, you
Yeah.
say? They live in the woods today, huh?
Yeah, wood. That's kind of crazy. I've never really
Oh,
done that.
I never
They
would've really
shapeshifted
thought
to
of
males? Okay, that's pretty cool.
And yeah, but the thing is that there's 4 elder autist gods that they're still holding in bay. So all the companies that are making this content today are still like, they're like holding off all of these offsprings from these 4 elder gods that are trapped away by the government. And they're still sitting in this room just drinking Sprite, being like,
This is actually pretty kind of cool, actually, when thinking about this creature.
Oh my god. My head hurts.
I'm gonna put something in the air that melts everyone's skin. That'd be awesome.
That I just don't. I just particularly don't like the way human skin feels. I don't like looking at it.
I don't really
cool,
think
do a
we
Hot
need
Wheel.
all 23 pairs of chromosomes. I'm going to create something that we put in the water that makes people born with maybe just one less pair.
One less pal.
Wonder what that would do.
yeah.
Oh, I'm crying.
They're
That was good.
powerful creatures. They're powerful creatures.
Who knows what they...
I have to go and actually do a call now, by the way.
Oh.
Autistic people scare me. Bye.
Bye.
See you next week.
Oh, dang it. No more Cream Crew for a whole week. What are you going to do on your way to work now? Or when you're masturbating in the shower? Silence? I don't think so. You can get an extra scoop of ice cream every goddamn week. That's right, 4 extra episodes a month for $5 a month on our Patreon. We finally set one up because I know a ton of you have been saying you would support it for ages, and it would help us pay for our editor and make this thing at least break even so we can just keep doing it until time itself stops. Imagine you're 86, you're on your deathbed. You could have your horrific children and grandchildren standing next to you yammering on about whatever nonsense they've got going on in their lives. Or you could go into the sweet night, carried blissfully on the back of 3 angels as Cream Crew plays and you fade to black. All for $5 a month. So if you want to support the podcast, it'd be super appreciated. If you don't want to, also totally fine. But you won't get 4 extra episodes a month for $5. So link in the description, patreon.com/Cream Crew. And yeah, appreciate it, lads. Mwah. Thank you.